Hello, everybody. I'm just checking my battery to make sure I can stay the whole 30 minutes and I'm good. I need to get another computer. This is just raggedy. This is no way to This is no way to start a show. I am Judge Dawn and I am joined by the creator, my mentor, mentee, my daughter wannabe, my sister in law, the lovely Judge Vivian. And we're here every Thursday, 7 o'clock, rain or shine, topic or no topic, prepared or not prepared. We're here every day to woo you and entice you. And this is Judge Vivian's creation. I think she started it, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Last
Created
year.
it a couple of years ago.
We forgot to put it up, but we are on our 1 year anniversary, guys.
Oh,
so
nice.
yay us.
Yay
A
us.
lot going on, guys.
Yay us. And the purpose of As the Law Turned is to entice people, to minority people, women, Black women, to think about law-related field, like a judge or a lawyer or a contract attorney, or just go to law school or just get more involved in some aspect of law. So each week we're here to discuss law and law-related topics. Sometimes we're way out of left field, and we always encourage you to tune in, comment, Facebook, Twitter. I used the word twat last week, and I don't think it's a good word. It was a past tense. It's not a word.
It's a word. It's just a bad word.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to say the past tense of tweet us, follow us, like us. A good show. We're proud of what we do. We combined, we have over 30 years of law experience, and we're both litigators, trial attorneys, and we will love what we do. This.
Judge summed it right up. So we're going to get right into the topic of the night. The topic of the night is mental health and the criminal justice system. So I thought to talk about this topic because we often, don't address it as much as we should in the legal community, but largely because, unfortunately, the passing of Chelsea Christ, who everyone knows is the former Miss USA and also a former correspondent for Extra TV. She unfortunately jumped from a 30-foot building, her own building, and we got into discussing mental health and the importance of mental health in the legal community. Now, it is unfortunately, like it is in most professional communities, underserved, under talked about, under discussed, underappreciated. But we also wanted to talk a little bit about how it connects with the criminal justice system, because as a former public defender, I used to get this question a lot from those people who fell into the system through whatever means, but unfortunately had mental health issues as the underlying problem for their woes. And so we're going to keep it interesting, as we always try to do. We're not going to make it too, hard on you guys. So stick with us. But we wanted to give you some inside kind of pointer tips on mental health.
Okay. So and we're not your attorneys. This is not legal advice. But sometimes in the course of our 30 or 35-minute discussion, we do have to pinpoint some law and explain kind of surface what it is. And when I say surface, because please understand, there's combined college here of 14 or 15 years just to be a lawyer. I say just to be a lawyer. You have to have a bachelor's degree. Mine with the five-year college. Most colleges are 4 years. And there's a 3-year of law school. I think there's some law schools now you can go within 2.5 years. But it's 6 or 7 years of college, each one of us, to be a lawyer. So we're going to talk about law, but I'm not going to make you lawyers. For you to participate in the discussion, we want you to do that. Please comment, participate. This is not a show about us. It's about a show about you, garnering your interest in law, and specifically tonight, law as it relates to mental health, which is difficult for lawyers. Now, let me say this: we are not doctors. We when I went to law school in 89, 90, I don't remember any component of mental health work, not one. When you choose your profession, if you will, you may get what they call CLEs, continuing legal education credits, in some form of mental health if you want to. For me, as a prior sitting judge, we didn't really have a mental health component. We had an ethics component. So what we learn as members of the bar, Florida bar, about mental health is kind of trial and error. A client comes to us, we have to react or overreact or not react, and so it's a nice topic to explore. Maybe in a point that they'll have ethics and diversity and mental health as a part of our curriculum. Right now, it is not. So sometimes we struggle, just like you, about how to make the right decision. I say we, the judges, the mediators, the litigators, the trial attorneys, we struggle. We don't know what to do.
And that's what happened to Chelsea during this time. They call it high functioning depression. Once again, I'm with Judge Dawn. We are not mental health counselors, but lawyers are considered to be, the people that's got it all together. You're supposed to be, the ones that they can mend everybody else's problems. And that's not something I knew as much about when I first got into the legal community. I want to say that, like, when they say the word counselor, they meant the word counselor, but they forgot to tell you that part about that in law school. They should have explained, like, you literally will be doing some counseling to other people and helping other people make deep and decisions for their lives that will affect them for the rest of their lives. Yet, and then have to deal with your own problems. I think that was an underserved thought when we went to law school. I do wish that they would have considered that a little more in explaining that part to us. And what I'm trying to say, guys, is that a lot of times, especially as a criminal defense attorney, you're getting people at the worst day, on their worst moment, at the worst part of their day, at the worst part of their lives, where they're just, they are not the happiest probably. And you have to counsel them through that. A lot of people are disappointed in where they are. Not everybody wants to be a criminal, contrary to popular belief. I'm saying that because I have heard some people be like, "Oh, well, they don't deserve," and I'm just like, "Yeah, you keep going a little, like, come back. Everybody can benefit from a little grace."
Like Judge Vivian said, we see people at the worst, and probably I can't do percentages, but I would say a countable percentage of people that we see in the criminal justice system have either mental health problems, drug problems, or what we term dual diagnosis. Dual means two. So there's two components working together: drugs and mental health. And one, I don't know what, the chicken or the egg. And so we have to kind of help you kind of unravel your stuff. Unfortunately, not only do we not get trained in this, there doesn't seem to be a lot of programs out there once you're in the legal system to help you to really see that you're on the right track. And I don't want to lose track of this Chelsea's Krista, her problems, what she's going through. But you have a young Black woman who I think she's 30 or 30-ish, who appears to have absolutely it all. Young, vibrant, in shape, highly educated, employable, and employed. And now we find out what we call a high function depression. Now, what does that mean? That means I'm going to work, I'm smiling, I'm good, I'm in charge, but inside I'm crumbling, I'm a mess, and nobody recognizes it. My good friends, my publishers, my neighbors, my parents, no fault of anybody else, nobody recognizes. Now, you did that now in the criminal justice system. Judge Vivian maybe has hundreds of clients, so she has about 30 minutes, maybe 15 or 20 minutes before the first appearance, which is called arraignment, to maybe see you and react you. I have less than that as a sitting judge. At least she's in the back a little bit, talking that 15, 20 minutes, and now she's presenting the case to me, and I have 5 minutes, and we have to make an assessment about whether you need mental health evaluation. We can't say mental health because we're not counselors. Mental health evaluation or not, it's a tough field, and we always want to emphasize on the program. That's why we want people to be more involved with law. Law touches everything you do, how you live, how you work, how you're tested, how you're not tested, how you're placed in school, how you're not placed in school, everything. So that's why we encourage some legal interest from everybody. So I don't want to talk over everybody, but we have just a little time to assess what do you need in the legal system. And then when we assess it, what are we going to do about it? What can we do with it? So,
Agreed. And then, as Judge just mentioned, to kind of give a little bit more of the background. So what she's saying is, as in the criminal justice system, unfortunately, let's say someone got, let's go simple. Let's say a trespass. Now, a trespass, for those that don't know, in the United States, in the state of Florida, because that's where I'm barred, is basically you just coming onto someone's property without their permission, or you came on their property with their permission but refused to leave after their permission was taken back, and they call the police. Now, a lot of times these happen, and you'll have, and I said let's keep it simple because we don't want to get diving into too many, but a lot of times this happens because the person maybe have some mental health challenges. They thought it was their home. They didn't know. They were confused. They were scared, whatever reason. Well, unfortunately, now they're in the system. And I often tell my clients, when the train starts, you can't stop it. It's not much that can stop a train unless you can pull that lever, and we don't have the lever. Judges don't have the lever.
Don't have
really
it.
The closest person to the lever is the state attorney.
Yeah.
But they still sometimes can't even get a hold of the lever because the train is moving just that fast. And so we have to suggest, as the judge said, I wonder if this person may have some issue here, some mental issue here that may be keeping them from actually having committed this crime. And so then we have to put them into a program or an evaluation. Once that evaluation is complete, and that's not done by any lawyers unless they are mental health counselors as well, those mental health counselors then give us a prognosis or diagnoses or whatever, and we say, oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, there's not a lot of programs, and it was a hard fight when I was a PD trying to figure out where to put these people, because they really didn't intend this to happen. We're hoping to get them help so it doesn't happen again. But however, there was a quote unquote crime that was committed. So there's this kind of undulating balance that never really gets solved when it comes to these social reforms. But I do know that we did attempt in Volusia County for a little bit to do something called a mental health court. It had its challenges.
Now, let me add a caveat to that, and not to disparage any judge, and not to disparage what I tried to do as a sitting judge in Volusia County. When Judge Vivian comes to me and say, Judge, my client has some mental health issues, maybe he didn't have the mental intent. We call it mens rea, a fancy word for mental intent, to trespass. He ran out of the property, thought it was his house. The people said leave. He thought in a state of delusion, hallucination, and maybe alcohol involved, he was okay. And so Judge Vivian standing before me with her client and saying, Judge, he's not aware of what's going on. The prosecutor says, I'm saying, okay, prosecutor, what do you want to do? As a judge, I can't drop the charges unless some legal issue, something's wrong. But just the fact that Judge Vivian said my client doesn't appreciate what's does wrong, I'm looking at the prosecutor and say, prosecutor, what you do? So the prosecutor has a couple of reactions. I was a prosecutor for 13 years. Judge, we want our own mental health evaluation. Okay, now we're talking about a lot of taxpayers' money. So a judge, a sitting county judge, saying a second-degree misdemeanor, talking about the 60 days in jail or 6 months probation. I'm looking at Judge Vivian and I'm looking at the prosecutor and say, can we make this case go away? That solves my problem. that one case I don't have to do. That's Judge Vivian doesn't have to do. But what about this person is out there? And I'm not saying it's the best solution. I'm just saying the real life situation that potentially happens. They charged with such, he or she, such a low level crime. And you weigh the benefits of a mental health evaluation that the taxpayers have paid for by the mental health staff at the jail or some government agency. Then the prosecutor says, we want a second evaluation. Now the defendant has to pay for that at $150, $200 an hour. And then if he gets the mental health evaluation, I'm still saying, prosecutor, what do you want to do? I mean, and sometimes we're left without a recourse. So these things just kind of get shuffled around. Therefore, now we have this mental health court, which I was not a judge over the mental health court, so I don't know all the nuances. But the purpose of the mental health court is to guide them through a system where they can become completely healthy and whole. Now, I can say this. What do I do if this person, that means mental health, does not comply with mental health, doesn't take his medicine, doesn't want to do it? I'm not crazy, or takes it for a while and decides not to take it. Here we go. Is a legal system problem? Yes, because it's before us as a legal issue. I'm the judge. She's a defense attorney or the prosecutor, and so this person is before us, and we have a legal issue to resolve. And so these are a lot of discussions that we need to have among ourselves about mental health. I'm sorry, Judge. I don't want to ramble
No,
too
you're
far.
fine. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Usually, the only reason why they begin to get some help, at least when I was getting into it, is if they committed serious crimes, like felonies that subjected them to prison time. And now you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place because the injury is so great. And sometimes that injury is to a person. And the unfortunate part is that unhappy balance. I found it very difficult. I would hear parents telling me all the time, I've tried so hard to get them in a program here. Is there anything that the system can do? And I'm thinking to myself, no, ma'am, the system is for punishment. It is not for rehabilitation. As a matter of fact, for those of you that do not know the law, I hate to burst your little bubble, but criminal defense, the first line in the book says, dun, 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 is literally the first line in our books, guys. It says the criminal justice system is not for rehabilitation. It is for punishment. They flat out told you what the Florida criminal justice system was about. Like, they didn't make no qualms. They didn't beat around the bush. They hit that straight on Main Street and ran all the way with it. So unfortunately, at that point, they're not really looking to help you. But a lot of people need help. And there are some resources. There are some. I'm not saying that there aren't any. So really, if you really think that person, what we usually do is after that mental health evaluation that the judge spoke about, let's say it is a bigger crime and the judge decided, hey, we may use the taxpayers' money here. This is getting a little more serious than we thought before. Then the judge puts them into something we call involuntary. And this is where it gets a little spicy.
More than a little.
Little spicy, throwing a little spice. I mean, Middle Eastern spicy, not American spicy, because Americans don't know what spice is.
No. We're talking about real spice.
And they will show you real spice. So when you get to the Eastern spicy, I know this because of the one chip challenge. Have you ever heard of that? I'm going to
No, what's the one chip challenge?
So apparently there was this really, it's called a ghost pepper, and they made hot chips out of a ghost pepper. And when they made hot chips out of a ghost pepper, they started doing this challenge around the world. And so I remember one of these newscasters, there was this African woman and there was this other guy, he's not African, and he and her did the ghost pepper chip challenge. He was dying, almost sick to his stomach. She was like, it's not that bad. And so this is what I mean when I say not the American spicy. It get like Middle Eastern, African spicy when we start doing this involuntary stuff, because now it's no longer their decision. And now you're no longer allowing them a hand in their own health and their own process. And so we put them in something we call a state hospital. Once they get to that state hospital, They're there until a doctor says, I think they're better to come back and just say, oh, nope, sorry, I had to sleep up last week. And I
You're
know
not
that that
free.
sounds very harsh.
You're not free. You're there until you get stabilized. That's not a walk in the park. Okay, you come back every either 6 months or a year, 2 years for evaluation, and not the judge my level, a judge above me, the circuit judge determines whether you still are um, to the point that you can't do what you want to do, insist in
Yeah,
your trial.
yeah. And that's the sad part about it. And that's why when we express mental health, everybody's like, well, isn't there some system? It's an involuntary commitment to a hospital that they cannot leave the premises of or be pretty much tackled. Let's be honest. For those of those in the facilities, I'm not trying to get your job. I'm just mentioning like they can't leave. And so they're there until someone else says that they are, as Judge said, viable for out. That's the best thing that we have going right now in the legal justice system, at least as far as I understand in the state of Florida. Um,
Now,
when
let me
health.
explain the difference between insanity and what we're talking about right now.
That's
Restore
that's
you
that's a
to
that's a hard thing.
competency. Insanity means at the time of the offense, you didn't appreciate the nature of right and wrong. You all say crazy. I just didn't appreciate that what I was doing was wrong. I threw a rock at a bus full of children in the middle of the day, screaming and yelling, but I didn't appreciate that that could harm anybody. Incompetence means I don't have the ability to assist in my trial. I don't understand. I don't understand where we are, what's going on. I can't talk to my attorney, Judge Vivian, as a defense attorney. I can't understand what she's saying. I don't have the ability to assist. Incompetences, you go to the hospital and your competency is restored. Then you go to trial. Now, trial, you may be found not guilty of reason of insanity, but competency, insanity, two different things. Try to explain that. It's a simple version of it.
I ain't even gonna test it. I'm just gonna say it's a process. And once again, it gets a little spicy. So, guys, we're not trying to make it like I said, a deep one tonight. We just want to explain because I have heard this before. A lot of people asking, where is there any special programs for mental health in the criminal justice system? Yes and no. Majority of those programs are very, 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 very restrictive. And to me, aren't always the best plan to go, but when there's nothing else.
And sometimes, the Judge Vivian and I have experienced that there are some people that mental health beds and to do it because their lawyer wants them to, or the judge wants them to. Judge Vivian can say, I'm your attorney. I want the best for you. Do you promise to take your medicine? Okay, Miss Vivian, or me as a judge, please take your medicine. Come back in a month. Let me see you do well in school and stay out of trouble. And that's sometimes that works for a while. That human touch. Take off the robe, take off the suit, and treat them like human beings. And you'd be surprised when people do it just for the attorney, or just for the judge, or just for the counselor, or just for probation. So we have those avenues. But as in terms of some of the more simple crimes, our hands are tied. Now, our meaning the system's hands are tied. And like I said, I want to go back to Miss Chelsea Chris death. There's a commercial that's out now. I don't know if Judge Vivian had a chance to weave it in. It says, whatever gets you talking. I love that commercial because it says, if you think there's something going on, seize the opportunity to talk to the person. Chelsea or Chris was surrounded by hundreds of people all the time, calendars and trips and photos and sessions and producers and editors, and no one was aware. Now, I say no one is aware. I think people are aware, but no one wants to say, my friend is crazy. No one wants to say that hardcore, I think something was wrong with Judge Dawn or Judge Vivian. No one wants to call it out. But sometimes calling it out can save a person's life. Girl, what are you going through? You look odd. You look like you haven't slept. Let's go to lunch. Something about you is not, come on, if you don't want to talk to me, talk to somebody. And I'm not saying that can save Chelsea Chris's life or the people in our legal system, but I love that commercial. Whatever gets you talking, whatever it means.
And unfortunately, no, I didn't get a chance to weave it in, but Judge showed it to me. I had never seen it before, but I enjoyed it as well. It literally says, whatever gets you talking, seize the awkward, and ad counsel that they're trying to get people to talking more positively about mental health, because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes we just need people, and like, it's billions of us. What would make us think we don't need other people? And I think that's one of the biggest struggles that we have, is reaching out to other people. So don't disregard it, guys. The Florida Bar does have some, at least for attorneys, licensed and barred attorneys. I believe you probably can also get help if you were a former attorney. But the Florida Bar has different things, and I'm going to scroll that at the bottom. The Health and Wellness Center. They'll allow you to do video conferences with them, phone conferences, and help you get to providers in person. They also have the immediate help line. I'm going to keep both of those scrolling as we get into our last 5 minutes. But as we've been saying tonight, mental health is just as important as everything else that we talk about in the legal community. Unfortunately, statistics say that professionals of the legal community are in the top 5 of those who are hindered by addictive issues and or depressive or mental health issues. And I think that just stems from, like I said, we get everybody's problems, whether you're a criminal or not, actually. If we're making decisions for your life, whether you're in whether you're in family law, whether it's personal injury, whether it's literally someone else is counseling you on what to do as the next step of your life. And
we tend to be drawn to this profession because of the type of people we are. We are basically A types. Not everybody wants to be a litigator in the courtroom and challenge, but basically lawyers are A types, assertive, aggressive, go get him, work 12 to 14 hours a day. We've always done that. That we're the ones that, when drama club president, health careers, also a majorette, double minors, triple minors, raising a family, we do that. And so Chelsea is not unlike a lot of us. We are just multitask. Let me say this. There's a lot of businesses and groups and corporations, what they have an EAP, Employee Assistance Program. Please take advantage of this kind of stuff. Don't be ashamed to say, I need help. Most of them are confidential. You'll have to maybe tell your boss you're going to go to EAP, but find someone to help you. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. Let's save lives. And in terms of the legal profession, when and if you get into legal profession, advocate for change. Advocate why don't lawyers have some component of mental health? They're counseling people. They are counselors at law, but counseling people. They're taking people's lives and the family life and molding it and shaping it in the hand. So advocate for that kind of stuff. Talk to your congressman and people about what kind of programs are available to people in your area about mental health and mental health. I'm sorry, I'm start talking. I know we only have a minute and a half to go.
No, I'm just putting it up while as the judge is talking. I'm just putting it up and scrolling it down at the bottom so you guys can see the links that the Florida bar has, the Florida Legal Bar has for everyone, and just making sure that you know that there is something. I believe that the ABA also has a helpline, the American Bar Association. They also have a number, and that is the national or federal bar, the one that encompasses everybody. So pay attention to those. And, I saw something the other day as the judge was talking about little things, and it was just like, it was 2 minutes to reach out to someone and just say, hey, thinking about you, love you. It's simple. It's real easy. It took 2 minutes of your day. And sometimes you wish or hope somebody would do that for you. So, reciprocating that kind of love and for each other is, and don't think it only has to be to your family. Your family aren't the only people that love you. I know that sounds weird. I know, contrary to popular belief.
And it's not disrespectful to talk to your attorney and the judge and say, I need help, and I think this thing can help me. Give us some suggestions, ideas. We don't know at all. We have 7, 8, 5, 6 years of college and 5, 6, 7 years of experience, but we don't know it all. And if you're in a mental health situation and you know doctors and lawyers and things that help you to get through the rough, please open up and tell us. We're here to help the entire system.
So, guys, that is a wrap for us tonight. We know we talked a little heavy, but we're going to come back with some fun things for you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are now on YouTube. I would like to say that one more again. We are now on YouTube. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, if it's a personal topic but you don't want us to tell your name, then don't tell me your name, but then put the thing down there and then I can talk about it, okay? We will not be giving you legal advice. We will just be giving you some fun situations with it. I'm not your attorney. You ain't paid me.
No.
We
appreciate you joining, and you can be a 1,000 other things with the last 30 minutes. So we appreciate you joining in. Thank you, Miss Taylor Sawyer.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. We're glad that you tuned in and got a chance to see with us tonight. Now, next week, we have another attorney who's going to be present. So, I told y'all that we was going to do it big this year. You know, I don't know why I don't think I have enough things to do, but as Judge said, type A personality. So I'm very excited. Once again, find us on YouTube. I heard somebody the other day say, "Are you on YouTube?" But the answer is W. No, it's not how you spell it. It's YES. I told you I'm multitasking. I can spell. I should have put on the shades for myself.
That 7 years of college is really paying off right now. Oh, your mama wants me proud.
Mom, if you're watching this, go to bed.
We really enjoy you all. And like Judge Vivian said, we're not usually this heavy. But sometimes we have a heavy subject. We want to put it out there and educate the public. We want you to come and share with us. Welcome back, all the regulars, and welcome to the new people. We appreciate you. Give us comments, give us some ideas, give us some tips. Talk to us.
And we out. See y'all later.